Okay, let's go. Today we want to start there where we stopped on Monday, and that is that we want to have a function where the player is able to place objects directly into this tilemap layer rather than placing objects into the world. So let's see how we can do it. We already prepared this test game. Just a moment. We'll have it. Test game. All right. So the idea is that the player is able to place objects, and when he click them, that he can harvesting them rather than creating real. Oh, but the problem was the how I can make it with a better performance when you click them, because right now it will iterate. We got the clicked position here, and then we use used cell rec 2 has point. For used cell and used cells. This is very heavy at the moment because we got this function, and this will always get all used cells. Okay, how I can make it that we don't call this every time. What if we do this one? We have in ready function, we store this position separately in an array. So we say variable used cells array. So we don't got it new every time we click somewhere. And then we just say packed vector to array. And here we just say for used cell in %tilemap dot get used cells array dot append used cell. And rather than going over this again and again, I think this one won't be that heavy anymore, because we just iterate over an Okay, it's still very slow. Uh, ah. What if we say that we just get out of this if? When we found it? It's still a bit faster, but how I can make it better? There should be a better performance way. Okay, there's actually one wrong thing. Oh no, here I have it. Um, uh, okay. Uh, okay. Clicked position. If used the mouse local position equals tilemap. Ah. Local. Local to map. It returns the map coordinates of the cell containing the given local position. If local position is in global coordinates, consider using node 2D to local before passing it to this method. See also map to local. Identify a mouse local position not declared in the current scope. Click position. So we don't need to do this one. We just need to do get cell tile data. I don't need a for loop. Not used cell. I just have to say mouse local position. Used cell rect position equals used cell is mouse local position. And here we just have to say not used cell. We have to get this one first. And then we just have to put this one here. And then we have a better function. Because we don't need to iterate over something. And for the ready, we don't need this anymore. Tilemap. Okay, these are more than 50,000 tiles. 2,500 multiplied by 1,700 is a million of tiles. Oh no, this is pixel. But 1,000 by 1,000, it's still 1 million tiles. And I think even my whole map is how big? What is this? Oh well. It is 6,000. Is that pixel? $7,040 divided by 32 is 220 multiplied by 220, roundabout. Even less. So it's 220 multiplied by 220. So we have 48,400 tiles. So the map will never ever be that heavy than that what I just calculate here in the test game. So it's probably Wait. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, here's the problem. There's no tile within this area. Um, huh. I can click just the upper left corner and this function will work. Yes, but I can't click here. Then it will got this error. How I can make? Um, mm, um, I just try to find the best way to solve this problem. Um, just reading its pooling. Let's see. Um, okay, I need. Okay, I think I'll keep the current placing function, which I have right now, with placing them via scene. Yeah. Let's go to our script. Right now it's very imperformant. So we're gonna go to set it properly now. I would like to close all scenes. And I just want to have world. So we have the world scene here and we have plants. Plants decoration. Is it tree? No, this is the wrong one. It's trees. Then we have bush. Yes. Tree, bush, and then we have ground plants. These three different kind of plants. Then we have machine. And then we have, what else is placeable? Fence. So we have trees, bush, ground plants, machine, and fence. Then we have conveyor belts, conveyor box. All right. And I think animal houses. farmhouse. This one. And then we have... Actually, that's it. Flower, maybe. Yes, flower. Okay, that are all placeable objects. Which we have for this scene. This is fine. Texture progress bar. Delete. We have animation, sprite collision, static body. Okay, where the tree will be hidden when the player is behind, right? Okay, that's the only difference. Okay, this one I can delete. Animation player I put here. Alright, it's the exact same thing except the size. Process icon, level. Okay, here I will not change anything at the moment. Here neither. Here. It's also fine. This is also fine. And here just the progress bar, delete. Animation player up here. Timer, collision shape, sprite here. Okay. These are the type of items we can place. This is the item type. Tree, bush, ground plant, machine, fence, conveyor box, farmhouse, and flower. I hope I didn't forget one, but we have to go to the global data script now. And here the placing function. Change active slot player. Right now I don't want anything happen here. And everything what is related to the building toggle, this is what we need to figure out. Building toggle bool, delete for now. This signal we'll just put to our global signal script. Start building, delete. Change active slot, delete. Player behind tree. Reparent placed objects. Set object sprites. Change active slot, null. Reparent placed objects. Okay, we just put out everything what was related to the building toggle. Now everything what is related to active slot changed. Change the grid from 32 by 32 to 16 by 16. Okay, also delete this one for now. Okay, first thing is we want that the player has an active slot. The active slot will be always this one where this marker is in the toolbar. This is what I'll show you now. Load start. Active slot and base object of type nil. Let's create a new game file. Okay. Let's see where we used active slot everywhere. This I'll delete for now. Also, I'll not save it here. Oh, here it's right in player script. That's all right. Change grid. Player dot active slot. Player toolbar data dot slot datas. Set grabbed slot. Placing object equals player dot active slot scene dot instantiate. This will function. Delete. Calculate placing object amount. Set object sprite. Add inventories. Create object inventory. This function will check if the world already has an object placing area. Get direction as vector. Get current used position. Okay. If not, player.activeSlot. Not player.activeSlot is consumable. I'll just comment this one for now because this is for consumables and I need to change the how it worked. Calculate mouse position. Space key. Okay, this is fine. Okay, we will create a function that the player is able to has an active slot. Okay, let's see. So we should player is null. Key active slot on base object of type null. So let's start. Okay, right now we have the game, but we don't have an active slot. So that we can have an active slot, we need a function for this. Toolbar slots. Toolbar int is one, and here we had this function. This function is not existing anymore. Find fishing rod. Toolbar slots. Toolbar slot, toolbar int. Okay, we want that when we press one of these buttons, this active slot will change. And also that when we scroll the mouse, then we also want it will change the active slot. So what we're gonna do now is we create a function for this. And this we will do in global data, I guess. And this will make up to everything what is related to the toolbar and everything what is related to placing. I just figured out it makes sense to put here as much keywords to make it easier to find it later on when I work on it in 3 months again. So what we're gonna do is we create a function. Change current slot. Change active. Change player active slot. How do I call it? Global signals. Active slot changed. Okay, active slot. And this one we will trigger whenever we do the scroll. Or if we press 1 until 0. Where do I do the scroll function? Mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down. Okay, alright, here. Okay, current active slot toolbar int. It's a variable here. But actually I want it is mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down. Current active slot, current active toolbar int. Why it's not red yet? Okay, right now. So what we gonna do is when mouse wheel up, we will increase the toolbar int. Current active slot int as an int. We start with 1, with 0. And here we just say this one. Toolbar slots. Here we don't do anything. The only thing what we gonna do is that we emit the signal. Dot active slot changed. And then we give current active slot int. Or maybe nothing. We don't need to give this because we just emit it and we go to global signals. We don't want to send something. We save it. Then we just connect it active change player active slot. Then we just go to this function and we just say player dot active slot equals player dot toolbar So when we scroll now, we will not see it visually, but we will at least see it in code. When we scroll. Okay. Invalid access to property or key toolbar on base object of type character body player. Okay. So when we have the player, we have the player here. We have toolbar data. All right. Then it is toolbar data. So we go back to global data. And then we still have to say slot data, I guess. Inventory data. Right here we have slot data. All right, then this should work now. We'll go to world. Player. Active slot is null. Okay, it's always keeping to be null. Global data, let's check if current active slot int. Okay, this is working. Slot changed. Actually, it should work this way, but I do not know why it's not working at the moment. So we just load it again. Okay, it's just changing when I scroll up. Resource null, null resource. I feel like it's always one behind. Let me see where it starts. Right here we have -3. Okay, -3, it's actually not working. I feel like I did write the scroll function wrong. We should have somewhere mouse up. Oh, we don't emit it here when we scroll down. Actually, it should be this, but we shouldn't be able to just scroll in a negative. Shouldn't be negative. Current active slot. Why it's possible to make it negative? Current active slot int equals current active slot int -1. Let's check. Let's check it. Global data. Scroll down. Current active slot. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0. 8, 7. Okay, now it's calculating it right. Like it's supposed to walk, supposed to move. Now we have always the right position, and when we have an apple here, 0. But I wonder why it's always being null and then changing. Shouldn't it be the same? Exactly the same? Player.active slot equals current active slot int. We increase it by 1 and then we set it. Should be alright. change it, and then we emit the signal. That's right. But shouldn't... I mean, I feel like it should be always the same. Left and right. And not this way. What do I do wrong? Oh, well. Now. Now it will be same. Okay, my fault. Okay, now it's alright. Okay. That's all what we need at the moment. So the next thing what we're gonna do is whenever we change something in the toolbar, we want to emit this signal. Active slot changed. So for example, when we buy something in building menu inventories, actually whenever something will be added to the toolbar. Where do I buy an item in building menu? Und im Building Menu Buttons. Close Building, Delete, Set Building Menu Inventories. Set Building Menu, on Building Menu Button pressed. Has Item Toggle. Lottery Jar, Item Toggle. Buy Button. On Buy Button pressed. Okay, let's see. Count null is bigger than this. Pick up slot data full. And this is the case in both things. when the player has enough money. Okay, then we just can emit it when we pick up slot data full. When pick up slot data full, we have here. Whenever we do it, we always have a return. Okay, this is a very, very long function for indexed slot data. Can fully merge. Wait. If slot data dot grade and then slot data size. Okay. We have to do it whenever a mid changed. So let's say okay, not when inventory changed. We just need to do it when here, for example, we have to say global signals dot active slot changed. And also here. So now when we buy an item, we are on slot number 0 at the start of the game. Then we buy this item. But it's not setting it. Okay, I delete the print. Never mind. Global data. Why delete the print? Actually now it should work. Slot changed and we have this now. That is great. So the active slot is something. Even we buy something before it wasn't, but now it is. The other thing is how we can change slots is when we go into the inventory building. Inventory interface, and there we have this wonderful function, unhandled key input. Is there a way to make this shorter? Yeah, it can. For I in action pressed. Then we say I'll copy this one. I'll delete this part. I'll save it. We go to our global data. And there we have this wonderful function here. Notan, hello. Welcome. Mouse wheel up. Let's do it here. If event is action pressed, str I. Then we say this one is always I minus 1. And let's say so let's see if it's working. It should. Okay, 9 is not working. Okay, 9 is not working. Starts from B, increases, decreases by steps of S. Starts from B, increases by steps of 1 and stops before N. The arguments B and N are inclusive and exclusive respectively. Okay. Normally asset will be purchased or made by yourself. Yes. That's why I do my assets by myself. So we say 1 until 10. So then it will work. And you can also hire someone to make assets for you. Okay, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's working properly. Okay, when we drop an item, okay, now we have this proper active slot function. And now we just want to have a proper placing function. Your cloud shadow effect is awesome. Will you make a video about it? Oh, I could. But actually, it's made with a shader, and I'm really not good in explaining shader, as I do not know much about how to set up shaders. But I can explain how I did this, but I can't explain the technique behind shaders. So let's see. We want that the player is able to place multiple objects, and the player is here. There will be a bool which will handle if the player is in the state of building right now or if he is in the state of playing right now. So that's why we have in game state, escape menu, inventory, in-game, start menu. So we change it to in-game at the moment. So I want also a game state which is building. Game state check. We check it here. In the movement. Only there. But I just thought we check it also in global data. Alright, building menu has to be handled differently, I think. Oh, but maybe not. Because right now, the only thing what I do outside of in-game is nothing. So when I have a building state, then I can simplify things a bit. That, for example, that the player is not able to move in this state anymore. Well, let's see. Global data. Global data here. If not, game state. Oh wait, I have to write it differently. I have to this check. So when it's not start menu, actually I think the way of doing it is good enough because I often look for ways to do effects, but I haven't seen any of your cloud effects yet. I do it. Wait, I can't run anymore. Why I cannot run anymore? Did I delete the function of run? I think. Okay, I'll put it on my list to make a proper tutorial about it. That I can explain it also properly. But something is weird with the hiding function. It's triggering. It triggers a bit late. Maybe it's fine at the moment. Oh, I know where's the problem, but it's fine. The problem is the size of the area where the tree will actually hiding. If input is action, just pressed N. Quest log. Okay. So the next thing is building. I want to have this game state will change to will toggle between in-game and building. So maybe it's a bit easier that in game state I have a function which is and here I send it game state equals okay, this one sends change the state of the game to the sended game state. For example, wait, game state dot game state enum dot game so on. All right. Checks if the current game state is the sended. So when we write it this way with the hashtags here, with the signs here, two of the signs there, then we just can simply, when we say game state, the dot, change game state to, and we just hover above it, you will see your own description right underneath. Change the state of the game to the sended game state, and this is very good to know when you work on this later on this game. So when you do the double commenting like this, then this one will be the description of the function below. Game state dot game state enum dot, and we want to change it to building. But I want to always change it to in-game or building, so I say check game state check. And if it's this one, then it will change it to if it's building, then it will change it to in-game. Otherwise, it will change it to building. No matter which one it is, it will change it to building. But just when we are not in the start menu. So we can figure this out by printing when we press the B button. Right here, I will print the game state after. Current game state. And then we change, start, and then let's check. Okay, load start. Let's see. Okay, right now nothing is happening. We don't got any prints. Oh wait, what is that? Why we don't got any prints before? My load start. Okay, B is not doing anything. Is action pressed? B. Oh, we don't got any print. Game state? Game state check. If not, game state. Why we return true? Okay, this is very confusing. So here, now we should return true. Um, if not, right, if it's building, then change it to in-game, and otherwise this. And here, okay, all right. Now we change it. Let's see. Start. 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1, and game state is 0 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. Okay, this is working, and now we want that we can placing objects. Now I want that, for example, a grid will be visible where the player can placing objects. So when we press B, we change the current state. Okay, where's the grid script? Word. Okay, we want this grid, but just on grass tiles. Okay, we have what's the best way to do it? We use this one. Then we have tile size of 32 by 32. We go to tile set. Wait, why I have two different versions of this? How long have you been programming games? For like 2 years now. Yes, 2 years. Why I have two different versions of this one? I keep it this way. And I want to change it between 0, 1, and 2. So when we have this script, did we have here a grid script? Building menu, button, building menu, inventories. What is with the old world? Did I delete the old world? Nope, I don't. Here we have the old world. And here we have the placing objects tilemap layer. And I want this also here. Copy. Copy. World. Paste. And now here, you just say return or when it's not placeable. Not. When it's not placeable, then we'll also not see this one. And change grid should be always be called when the player is pressing B. So we say ready, connect signals. And we say global signals dot connect active slot changed. No, not active slot changed. Whenever the game state changed, then we'll call this function. We don't have this yet, but when we go to our global signals, we just created. I also could send the current signal over. Current state is 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 game state dot cool, you don't even use AI. No, most of the time not. Sometimes it's helpful for when you are refactoring your game and you're facing problems of performance problems, then it would nice to have a opinion on how you could, in which direction you could change something, because also your knowledge is limited. But most of the time I use this one to find out new things. Game state changed, current state. We want to send over the current state, which is a current state enum. But I think I cannot say predefine it, right? No, I can't. Oh, but I can predefine it. No, I can't. Let's say just current state, and whenever we emit it, we send over the current state. So we can just go to emitting it in current item size. Change grid. Yeah, let me just change this later. We just want to change the game state change function. We just want to say game state change dot emit. Now we send over current game state. And now when we go to this error, wait. Oh wait, global signals dot game state change the dot emit. And then we go over to placing objects tilemap, and right here we can also already return if game state dot, I just say if current game state is not dot, if not game state dot check no, that don't make sense. Actually, we don't need to send it over. Global signals, we just don't need to send it over. That's a bit cleaner. And we don't send data which we don't need to send. And then we just delete this here. Then we save it. Then we go back to placing object tilemap layer, and we just say global game state dot enum, game state enum, and we say building. When it's not building, then we just return. Then we don't want to do anything here. And now we do show the proper grid. So current item size equals active slot dot object size. This is wrong because we don't check the active slot anymore. We check the global data dot layer dot active slot and then object size. Cells outside and cells inside. Okay. Yeah, I had the function that we can placing objects outside and inside, and that's why here in this one tile set from placing objects. The edited layer is disabled or invisible. We have tiles here, but why it's not shown here? Debugger has no tile at 0, 1. Grid. Okay, it looks like that, but even beforehand. So we go to script. So we have cells outside and cell inside. Cells outside is get used cells by ID is 0 vector 2 0 0. Okay, get cells by ID. Let me check that. What we need now. Source ID 0, okay. And then Atlas chords 0 0. It's this one. But if it's 16 by 16, it should be this one. This might... Wait. How big is my player? How big is a tile? 32 by 32. So if it's 16 by 16, then it should be this one. 1 0. And here it is 1 1. And if it's 32 by 16, then it's this one. You cannot turn them, by the way. So they cannot be changed to be 16 to 32. So we say here it's for outside 2 0 and 2 1. Otherwise, it is 0 0 and 0 1. So let's comment it. Oh wait, but I could write it a bit better because we do so many times the same things. This part is exact the same, except that these vectors are changing. Cells outside, cells inside, and this is also the exact same. So we just write a function which will do this work for us. Set cells to, and here we just send to vector to tile, and then we say new tile as a vector 2. And here we just write inside this one. And array get used cells by ID 0 vector 2 to 1. Cells inside get used cells by ID. This one is for 32 by 32, so it's this one. Get used cells by ID. So it's new tile. And array get used cells by ID. Oh, okay. We always need to check for the other ones, which is not like self. So when we send over, this one is what we send later. So when it's 32 by 32, we change it into 0, 1. And we just want to change 1, 1 and 2, 1. And here 1, 0 and 2, 0. From tile vector to like spect to array. So we just say from tile cells inside cells, and here append from tile 1. Expected end of statement after variable declaration found dot instead. Oh wait, this way. So when we set cells to, we just call this one. We just need to say if, wait, inside, outside bool is a bool. If inside, outside bool, we just say here inside, outside int equals nothing, but if inside, outside bool is inside, outside equals this is outside, so it's 0, and this is inside, this is 1. Wait, it actually doesn't matter. Just need to set cells to vector 2 1 1 vector 2 2 1 and vector 2 0 1. 2 few arguments. Then we can delete this part. Then we need this one. Here we say 0. No, 0 0 is not true. When it's 32 by 32, then we need to check for 1 0 and 2 0. And we change it to 0 0. Same here. We change it from, this is inside, and this is 32 by 16. And if it's 32 by 16, then we have this one. So we change from 0, 1 and 1, 1 to 2, 1. So we change from 0, 1 and 1, 1 to 2, 1. And also here, same, just that the second number is always 0. We delete this part. And here the same, except for 16 by 16, so we keep the middle part. So we say outside we change 0, 0 and 2, 0 to be 1, 0. So 0, 0 and 2, 0 to be 1, 0. And we change 0, 1 and 2, 1 to be 1, 1. 0, 1, 2, 1 to be 1, 1. Okay. This we can delete. And actually we just make it a bit shorter. Okay, so we save it. Even I think you can make it even shorter than this, but I think right now I'm fine with this version. Thanks for following in YouTube. Thank you very much. So the next thing is, I mean, when we do it all right. Oh wait, we need to set this also where we can place something. This I want to do in ready, but this is when we set where is grass. And as we just doing it in global data, that where we have grass, we want to set it by default to example to just this one. But I'll be right back in a second. All right. Right back. What error do we got here? Okay, what we want to do now is when we go to our global script, global data script, we have the function where we just let me see. We have somewhere the function where we placing the option, the objects, machine inventory, notification, fishing, achievement, player checks, world creation. It should be somewhere here. Get possible object spawn points. And these are also the places where the player can placing things. And it's this one. Possible spawn points dot append. Actually, I want to create, when I'm already here, I want to create a possible placing, a possible building, building tiles as a packed vector to array. And here we just say this one. Now we just say possible building tiles dot append type. And oh wait, wrong. Here, because we want to check if object can spawn. This already exclude the houses, and it's also excluding the mountains. So this place, and then we have here, and that this works properly in global. No, in the placing objects tilemap layer, we just want to say set tile map set tilemap for position in global data dot possible building tiles. We set it to the default one. Oh, but then we don't have the places where we are inside a house. Actually, the only place where it can be inside a house is here. But to keep it clean, I go to the float script. Right now I have here in... Wait. I want to have a tile set, custom data layers. We have puddle, we have object can spawn, can fishing. Object can spawn, but we want to add another one, which is object can be placed And that we want to set to true on all of them. Which is a bool. So we go to tile set. Tile set. Select. Paint. Object can be placed on. We can place it on each of them. Later on we can add a few more, but we want to add them just on this one. And this one stays here. So we have everything included except this part. But I need to... Maybe the easiest way is to say just simply take this one. Want to delete it. Huh? Where I can't delete. Oh, well, okay. Now I want to draw. Everywhere where sand and grass, we want to place this one. Yeah, this seems to be like a very... I'm not sure what is better, to make it manually or do it via code. I mean, via code is way faster and always correct. I think I should do it by code. Why do you divide into cells like that? This is important for the player to place the objects. So, for example, that he can planting trees or decoration on these areas, which I just mark here. Okay, this one. I'm thinking right now if I really should do that manually or via code. I would also finish soon. Hello, Shadow. Welcome. How are you doing? Okay, this is a bit weird. Why the grid is not properly with the... I think the mountain is not placed properly. Here we go. I'll not do it manually. We'll do it this way. Do you know today I made my own app? It's a simple flashlight app using Java, XML only, using my phone, using ID. Nice. It's always feeling great to have a final product. Good job on this one. Um, and also this one is a possible building tile. So that's why we go to our floor, tile set, and then we have can placing objects. Have you ever made an app or game? Yes. I ever created a game for a game jam, which is like a simple jump run, and I create a currency calculator for my phone. But beside that, I have this game and also one other game, and yeah, right now, but they are not finished yet. This game and the other game, what I'm working on right now, both are not finished yet. I need another alternative tile. Can placing objects is bool. True, 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 true. It's off. And we need another one. Create an alternative tile. Which has also can spawn, no, cannot spawn objects, but can placing objects, but inside. Can place object inside. So we have only this area where we should put this one. All right. And when we write the script right now, we have these possible building tiles. Go to global data. Possible building tiles. We don't want to append them here. We just say possible building tiles outside or possible building tiles inside. Character vector to array. So we just need to iterate over this one. If, oh wait, yeah, that's fine. This one. Okay, maybe we should not use this one. We'll write an own function. Get possible building tiles. And this one will lead to void, and we say for tile position in world.get node floor tile map layers slash tile map layers slash floor dot get cell tiles. No, get used cells. Data tile, this one is tile data equals world dot get node floor tile map slash layers slash floor get cell tile data, and we say cell tile position, and then we say if data dot get custom data can placing object, and we say possible building tiles outside dot append, and we say tile position, and if data dot get custom data can placing object inside, then we say possible building tiles inside dot append tile position. And this one we will run and ready. Get possible building tiles, and then we go to our placing object tile map, and we say for position in possible building tiles outside set chords position source ID 0, and here I have to say vector 2 0 0, for position in possible building tiles inside set cell position 0 and this one is 0 1 vector to 0 1 and this here we will call it ready and then that's it. So whenever we're pressing B we should see, okay, let's see, a non-existing function get node in base nil. When do we spawn the object? Oh, in world, right? This one we cannot put here in ready. Okay, let's see. Tile set has no layer with name can placing object. Okay. Can placing object. Floor. Can placing objects. Can placing objects inside. Maybe I'll say it outside. It's easier readable in a few months. So let's see if we still get this error. No error. So let's take a placeable object. Okay, error coming from single game state change to callable. Error calling from single game state change to callable. Method expected one argument but called with 0. Okay, let me check. Oh yes, okay. Try again. So at least we just saw that this the right signal got emitted. Building grid set it. Okay, load start. Shop. Building grid settled. But I don't see any building grid here. Get used cells. Let me see if we get anything. Nope, used cells is empty. Maybe we can do it with a signal. We will call this one with a signal, so we just say, for example, global did signals dot connect building positions loaded. Now we say set tilemap. And we go to global signals. Signal, this one. And this one will emit global data. And right here, when this one is finished. So let's see if we have right now the right positions. Okay, the problem is that it's not changing the grid. And also it should be hidden at the beginning and just be shown when this one is true. Just like this. Okay, it seems to be fine. Only problem at the moment is that is not, and when it's null then it should not be show. Just should be show when we have an active slot. And also we should change it. I do not know right now why it's not changing the grid size. Why it's not changing the grid size? Print. I think I know where's the problem. Because it's a float. (32 by 32 is the default. And then we have this one. Okay. Did we landing here? Testing. Print. Testing. 1616. Load start. Testing 1616. Okay, we are at least here. We are here. So let's see. Get used cells by ID. I feel like cells is nothing. Oh, it is something. Just not changing this property. Oh. This one should be set it to new tile. Okay, that was the error. Just delete the prints for now. Let's see. Now 32 by 32. This one should be also emitted whenever the player is switching between the active slots. So this set tilemap or like change grid is now connected with game state changed. But we also want that this one will be called whenever the player is changing the active slot. So let me check global data. At the very end. Here we print just this one at the moment. But we also want to have a signal which will be called whenever the player change the active slot. So we have active active slot changed. We already have one, but we need to change it. Change active slot. And then we need active slot changed. This one and this one what we had before. And active slot changed. All right, and then we have here active slot has changed dot emit. And then when this is the case, we go back to our placing objects tilemap layer. Global signals dot connect change grid. And when we did alright, everything alright, we have this one. Wait. Active slot changed mid. Ah, okay. Here we need to say change active slot. Now the change is working. Let's buy it in the third version. All right, it's working properly. Now we want that also the border in the toolbar is changing to the right place. So I think this one is an inventory interface, but I do not know anymore how I set it up. Layer inventory toolbar. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see where it changed. Why ever this is an own scene. But I feel like we just do this. Which I think is okay. So we will check the script. Set toolbar data, populate item grid on mouse entered. Whatever this is. Set toolbar data, populate item grid. Did I call it somewhere? How can I know if this one get called somewhere? How I can check if a callable got called? Oh, okay. Got called. Never mind. So what I want is a function which is ready. Item grid. Did I use it somewhere? Wait. So I use it here. Item grid is here. Why here's this VBox container? And item grid is here. We just say %. Then we go to the script. We say delete this one. This way. So we connect it with something from the inventory. World if global data.world.get node inventory updated. Okay, why it's so complicated? Emit self. Clear inventory, set inventory, disconnect, connect. Why I have here the signal? I never use it. The weird thing is the only place where I use it is in toolbar. Here we have inventory name, but where we have inventory data. Actually, it should work this way. So let's go here, function, set active slot border. So now I want to know where do I set this rule. Before I should have a function for this. Ah, how I have? Okay, let me check. This function should give the players enough space. Nope. Backup, global data, toolbar data, slot data, array. Active slot. Item in player toolbar data dot slot. Toolbar data, toolbar data, toolbar. Player toolbar. Slot data, sort slot, pick up. Is there nothing like get node tool bar? How I set it before? How I set this one before? Um, I don't get it. So this one is 5-5 position. 33-5. 61-5. So actually, I think I'll do just new, but I would like to also just delete the old one. So we have export, we have a variable, which is toolbar active slot positions, which I store as a dictionary, equals, and then we just say 0. case. And here it always has to be a vector too. Vector 2, 0, 0. Okay. And just can do it by connect this one with the signal. Func ready. And here we say connect signals. This one, and we say percent global signals dot if this slot has changed, and then we say change tool change active slot border. This one, and here we just say equals, and we say current active slot int. Then it should work properly when we just put the proper positions. You have 33.5, 61.5, 33.5, 61.5. So, and I think there are better ways to do that. 89, 117. But this is very hard coded. 145, 173, 145, 173. 201, 229. So it's always a difference from 28. So let's see. we did everything all right. We should change the border position. Get children on the null value? Okay, again. Load start. Okay, this is what I mean with hard-coded. Slot 4 seems to be off. 28. This one should be 99. 201. 173. 145. 201. 173. Wait. We don't have 229. Oh, we have 117. 89. 117. 145. 89. Ah, here's the mistake. 28. Okay, now it seems to be okay. I mean, it's okay for... it's not okay. Yeah, it seems to be... Okay, we got an error here. And placing objects outside is not existing. Yeah, wait. Why it's not loading properly? Why changing? Why it's back? Is it still there? Tileset. This can placing objects outside, nope, and inside also not. But this one should be possible to can placing inside and outside. Okay, this seems to be alright. And here. Okay, let's see. Okay, debugger layer with can placing object inside. Object inside. Players home shop. Global data. And also we can continue here. So when it can place outside, then we don't need to check if it can place inside because one tile can be just outside or inside. So we don't need to go through it. When it can play inside, we just can go to the next number. No error anymore. And now it's about to create the new function for placing objects. This is working properly now. We have proper setting of the active slot. Okay, so let's go to global data. And if the case is there that we have building menu on, we have an object, we have an object which can be placed, so as is placeable on. Then we want to have it displayed on the mouse. But not on the mouse directly, it's just there on the grid where the mouse is. So this one is working properly. Then we have a function. Create item preview. So what we need is active slot active slot data. Then we have current, wait, let's say variable current item equals slot data, and this is if game state is building. Current game state okay, if it's not building, then return, and if not, also return. Just when we have an active slot, we want to continue with this script. Then we say if current item is player dot active slot, current item amount is an int is equals player dot active slot dot where's quantity? Quantity. And then we have for item count in current item amount. The thing is, I could instantiate sprites now and then change them to be the object what they are later on. But I feel like it could be that this is bad for the performance. When I delete like 200 objects and instantiate them later on again. I could also already instantiate them before and just reparent them later when we need them. The problem and this one is that we probably create too many childs at the same time, and this could also leads to performance issues. Current item scene. New object equals current item scene dot scene data is a packed scene, right? Yeah. So I can instantiate it. We have temp objects group. Dot position. Hä? Dot snapped. Let's see. Okay, we need to call this also. Of type packed scene to a variable of type slot data. Oh, keyword spread on a base object of type nil. Okay, so I have to do in global data set equals a copy of this one what the player is holding in the hand. We can place them now, but the problem is I just want to check how I can make the offset better. If I add 16 and 16, I think maybe it will make it a bit better with the click. Yes, this is way better. And now the active slot need to disappear when the amount is 0. But also, right now, this is working for a single click, but I want that the player is able to planting multiple plants. Or do I want it? I could also run this one in process. So that it's always following the player's mouse. The problem is that we don't want to instantiate it over and over again. Add it over and over again. The only thing what we want is to create one. Object group. Has child, has node. Include internal bool. Okay. So it should just create one. Um, I want it. It's following the mouse. It will not work this way. Here I create a preview. So when I move the mouse with an item with an active slot, then I want it will be just placed when we click with the left mouse. Otherwise it should just follow the mouse. If not game state building, it will just delete all the child. Non-existing function get node and base nil. If word. But the process function is running even before the world is instantiated yet. But why this object's position is not changing all the time? It returns void. Cannot get return value of call to print. Okay, Hayo, what is that XP bar at the bottom of your stream? This is the amount of follower in YouTube. So right now I have 1051 follower. Actually, it's 1059. Thank you for following, by the way. I do not know since 1000 follower, it doesn't show it properly anymore. Let me check YouTube stream overlay. YouTube overlay. It should show it properly. But the problem is it showed 1051. Since the API I use for getting the number cannot calculate it properly. I need to find a way to get it directly from my channel data. Right now I just use an external program. But it's actually, right now the current count is 1059, not 51. Just stops. It ever was live, but now it's not anymore. I need to do this better. What? You can do that from Godot? Definitely subscribed. Thank you very much. Yes, you can. You just need access to the YouTube API. What I'll do to have a proper placing function, which will be also clean. I want the preview, which is following the mouse position all the time. And this preview should be just placed when the player is press with the mouse with the left mouse button on the floor. Like actually the first function what I ever had like a year ago for placing. I just need to find a proper way that the item is following the mouse properly. And temp objects group. I'll delete this ones and we'll just start from new to do that. Function create item preview. But this item preview should always follow the mouse. And this is the case when we are in the building state of the game. So this one will just do the creation and then we'll have another one which will do the follow function. So we do if game state dot current game state check game state is game state dot building. Just when it's a not this one, then we'll return. And also if player dot active not is equals null, then we'll also return. We can also say it not, it's a bit better. And just if this is the case, we want to create one of this temporary visible object. But I think we can do it also with just a sprite. And just when we place it, then we place the real object. Then we would not mess around with the objects functionalities which is called in the ready. So we create a node 2D, which I'll call temp item parent. Temp placing. So we say variable new item texture equals texture. And we say equals player.active slot dot world sprite. I think it's world sprite. Yes. And then we say variable item. Ah, we can't see the coding. Wait, you can't? Oh, sorry. Sorry for this one. Very sorry. OBS is... It should be fixed now. Can also zoom in a bit. Then it's a bit bigger for you. So we have the item slot data is... No, this will not set. We just need the texture and we need to create a new sprite. It's a sprite 2D equals. Can I set something in the sprite to the new? Can I send flags over? But what I would like to know if I can send over texture. But we'll just write it the normal way. New sprite dot texture equals item texture. And we say world dot get node dot add child new sprite. So create item previews not found in create item preview will be connected with game state changed. Here we need active slot has changed. Create item preview. And game state changed with this one. So we go back to this here. So we just check, okay, when the game state changed to building. If it's not building, return. If the active slot is empty, return. But if the active slot... actually in the beginning... If... Node... No, the wrong one. Dot child count. Then we say for child in okay. So we delete the childs first, if they are child, and then we create a new one. And this will happen whenever we change the state to be game state building, or if we change the active slot. And then now we want that this node is always following the current player's mouse. So we just write another function. Item review follow mouse. So actually it should have just one child. So we just say okay, now we have to world.get global mouse position. Added vector to 16 by 16. And all of this thing will snap at 32 by 32 steps. But also the snap we should change later when we have smaller or bigger items. So actually, we can already say it. We just say, wait, mouse position. I just make it a bit easier to read. Vector 2 equals, and then we just get this one. Then we need snaps, snap grid equals, and here we say this is also not true, so we say snap grid, and here we say player dot active slot dot item size, object size, and then we just exchange this one to this. Snap. Too many arguments for snapped. Call expected at most 1 but receive 2. Okay, this has to be a vector. And this one has to be divided by 2. If I'm right. But this one has to be calculated first. I mean, it will, because that is just a plus sign, and this one will be calculated before this plus. And this here we have to call if, actually also just when this is true. And when it's world, process, Okay, we need a process function. We say this one, but global data, and also when we do everything right, it should work. I'm thinking if I missed something or if I forgot something. I mean, if... Okay. Create item preview child count in base node 2D. Get child... Oh, okay. Let's get child count. Trying to assign value of type callable to a variable of type vector2. Okay. Okay. Maybe now. Okay, it's working, but we need to change the frame. So we have just the sprite, but the problem of a tree sprite is when we have, for example, apple. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states, I think. 64 multiplied by 10 minus 2 is 8. So we have to say frame h frames equals 7 new sprite dot frame. The frame will be automatically 0, I think. Okay, something is wrong with the positioning. Maybe it's this one. Maybe this is fine when we do it this way. Just the snap will be differently. I need to try around with this one. Oh. Um, okay, I see the problem here. The problem here right now is that when you see, for example, the tree script, the tree here, the sprite position already has an offset of -26. And also this position, -60, -32. So this will be added. Script. Global data. And we will not create. We'll not create just a sprite, I think. New object dot. Duplicate. All right. Static body 2D to a variable of type packed scene. We'll have it soon. Now we just need to change this one to snap grid divided by 2. Like this one. Save. Yeah, now it's working. Oh, this should also not change just when it's another item. This is working now. What is when we have items which has a smaller grid? Wait. Otherwise, I think the steps is too low. Has to be this. But I think then it will have the problem with the 32 by 16 ones. This one. This one. It's too high. Okay, it has to be some... we have to add even more. So snap grid divided by 2 is fine for 32 by 32. But everything which is smaller, we have to add even more. So, for example, when it's 16 by 16, then we have to add 32 by 32. Here it's... and here it's 32 and 16. Here it has to be 16 and even more than 16. So 24. And here we have to say 16 and 16, and it is... and here we say... item size offset dot get snap grid. I think it should work. load start. Okay, this feels great. Okay, so we have at least half of the functionality what I want to implement. The next thing what will be followed is that we can placing the object actually, so that we not just have them in the mouse, that when we place them that we have a real object, that we just reparent them and then put them to the world. It's actually very simple. It's just a simple function, but I have to end the stream right here. Thanks to everyone who was watching. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the stream, then you just can follow the channel. This will also helps me a lot. And if you want to support me and my game, you can do it by just wishlisting it on Steam. It's just a click for you, but it will help me a lot, and it also will make me will helps the game to be more public. I thank you to everyone who was watching. Thank you very much. I wish you have a great day, evening or night or whatever time it is where you are right now, and I hopefully see you again. And the next stream, probably it will be Friday, maybe tomorrow. It's up to how my schedule will be. But on Friday, and yeah, see you and take care, everyone.